Okay, so for Unit 2, we are looking at the 9 different principles of economics. So remember that with day 1 of Unit 2, we talked about what is economics and how is economics about scarcity. It's about other things as well. This is what we focus on first. And remember, economics is a lot about the study of our choices and decision making because we have scarce resources. So, this is part 1. It's only going to go over principles 1 through 4. And the second video is going to be about 5 through 9. Remember, you should be taking Cornell notes during this video. So, the first 4 principles are about how people make decisions. So, principle number 1 is about how scarcity forces trade offs. So, remember, scarcity is referring to how we have limited resources. Resources that are scarce tend to be more valuable. And because resources are scarce and we have unlimited ones, we do have to make choices. A type of choice is a choices lead to trade-offs. Okay, so you have to give up one thing for another thing that we want. Okay, if you choose to go to the movies, then you're giving up something else during that time. It's a trade-off. So it's also known as the no free lunch principle. It's the idea that there is no such thing as a free lunch. It's costing something. Even if you're not having to pay money for it, there's still a cost. And we make trade-offs all the times. Every single day you're making trade-offs. You just might not be thinking about it. So before we move on to the second principle, I want you to complete the writing prompt on Google Classroom. You're going to be answering these 4 questions about trades. So the first question is, what are you trading in to be at school? So in other words, if you're at school, what are you not doing? What are you not getting to do? Second question, what are you trading in if you're not at school? So if you choose not to come to school, what are you giving up by not being here? Question number 3, choosing between a minimum wage job or an unpaid internship in your dream job. And then the fourth one, I want you to create your own example of a trade off. Once you've completed the writing prompt, make sure you turn it in on Google Classroom and you return to this video. So, principle number 2 is about costs versus benefits. We have to make lots of choices every single day. Okay, but how do we make them? We make those choices by, again, realizing that everything has a cost. Okay, everything is value. Our time is valuable, and we have to make decisions on how to use that. And with that, we're making trade offs. Okay, we're trading something in the present or potentially something that will affect the future. It's very similar to making a needs and a wants list. I want you to write down the definition of needs versus wants. So, a need is something that you have to have in order to survive. Okay, it's not really an option. A want is something you don't have to have it to survive, it's just something that you wish or desire to have. Principle number 3 is that rational decisions occur at the margin. So it's not always black and white. It's not all or nothing. It's very rare that we have to make all or nothing decisions. Most decisions are going to be made at the margin. The margin is the border or the edge. So there's a lot of middle area and gray area. Okay. So marginal cost is what's given up to add 1 unit. Okay. To add one of something. A marginal benefit is what you gain to add 1 unit. Principle 4, people respond to incentives. And why? Why do incentives matter? So, incentives matter because motivation to do something is valuable. The more motivation we have, the more likely it is that we're going to do it. Prices are a very common and very powerful incentive. Incentives can be both positive or negative. An example of a positive incentive is extra credit for doing something, okay? Maybe for doing extra reading in the textbook. A negative incentive would be like a negative consequence, such as jail time for breaking the law. So, those are the first four principles of economics. Go to the part two video in order to learn about principles 5 through 9.